Hey Insiders, we've got a very special guest joining us here today who's recently just graduated from our flagship course LMA. And she's going to be coming on here and sharing how she found the whole experience and everything else in between. And I guess just to start us off here today, would you mind telling us what your name is, where you're based, and what it is that you currently do?
So my name's Gilly. I live in Edinburgh, but I actually work in the northeast of England. So I'm often down in Gateshead and sometimes Durham. What else did you want me to
And just what it is that you currently do
so,
right now.
say again, Nia?
So what it is that you currently do.
Oh, yes. What do I do? So I'm actually graduated in 2018 from a theatre and performance course. So I am an actress, but to support that, I work full time in a university. So I'm currently helping young people who are university undergraduates, and it's all about increasing their graduate skills
Okay.
and helping them to gain the sort of skills that employers would be looking for.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. And thank you so much for coming on here and have a little chat with us today. It's great to have you here. Great big bubbly smile. Your energy is
I
fantastic.
know.
I guess the next question that I had was just asking you, what was the biggest challenge or problem that you were facing in your life prior to joining the LMA course?
Yes, Liam, for a long time I've been battling self-sabotage,
Mm,
and it's something that I was really looking for answers. I almost felt like being aware of the problem should then provide the answer to the problem, and it didn't. I knew I was self-sabotaging in all sorts of areas. So it could be in terms of my acting. I wasn't really putting myself out there as an actor. My weight, I'd sort of have lots of failed attempts at losing weight. So it was like every time I tried to step out and do something to make my life better, um, the spokes would just go in the works. And I think I just came to the conclusion it must be me that was putting the spokes in the works to stop me progressing.
wow.
Um, so that problem is something that I was almost like crying out for help when I came across Tim's video,
And
and I just
how
felt
long
that this, yeah.
how long was that happening for in your life?
Oh my goodness, I've probably done it all my life.
Wow.
When I was 30, I had the opportunity. I mean, you know how people go on the X Factor and everything, everybody's clamoring for fame and fortune. When I was 30, I had the opportunity. I was, I suppose, talent spotted by a music producer and manager who wanted me to have a pop career. And we talked about what I'd look like, what I'd sing, this, that, and the other. And I just didn't have the confidence to do it. And I just sort of, I didn't do anything about it. And I'm thinking, my goodness, these days people are, they'd go mad for an opportunity like that. And I just let it slip through my fingers because I did not have the confidence. I didn't believe I was any good. Um, and it just seemed like a pipe dream, even though it was right there being offered to me. I mean, I don't want to look back. I don't look back with regret because this is a fresh start for me. But
Yeah.
that's an example. And I think I've been doing it a lot in the last, say, 5 years. I really want to tackle it, but that's how long it's taken me as well to find something that's actually helped me.
Wow. And so you talked there about like how you were self-sabotaging and then you had this realization where you said like maybe it's a me problem. How did LMA fall into your path then or into your life and how did that show up?
Yeah, so I already knew it was a me problem before I came to LMA, but I didn't have a clue what to do about it. I thought I need to find the root of it. because I have experienced real development in discovering route to things and then being able to tackle it. So yes, I was already aware it was a me problem when I came to LMA, and from the very first session of LMA, it was like a light bulb went off, and I could see for the first time how to overcome it.
Wow. And prior to joining LMA, prior to signing up, like you had gone down this path and you had realized that you were the problem. Whenever you stumbled upon LMA, did you have any resistance, or, was there any fog that was in your way that was stopping you from joining, or do you have any fears or doubts or worries prior to signing up? And if so, how did you put them to one side and step forward in faith and step on and join the program?
Yes, I mean, it is all a bit of a blur, actually, because I can't even remember that very first video or how I came across it or anything. And I don't even remember sort of how I came to sign up. I know it was a big commitment financially, which that was difficult for me because I haven't got spare cash sitting around. So that was an obstacle. But however, I was able to pay it in installments, so that was a real bonus.
Wow.
Other obstacles, yes, in your mind you're thinking, oh, is this just another self-help program that's actually not going to help, or something that'll be like a 2-week wonder, and then I don't know.
Wow.
You have all sorts of thoughts, don't you, about, and for me as well, it was sort of like a big commitment financially. And I was thinking, well, this could be a waste of time, but there's that saying, isn't there, if you want the same thing, just keep doing the same thing. And I knew that I didn't want to keep doing the same thing, so I had to take a chance, if you like, take the risk, and at least try. And I think actually Tim offers a money back guarantee, if I recall correctly. But I would be asking for my money back, rest assured.
Wow, fantastic. And you just spoke there now about it was in the first session that you had these like light bulb moments, and I saw your smile light up there and your energy shift. What was it about LMA course that surprised you the most, would you say?
Yeah, well, I originally started the course on there's recordings. So it's a 6-week course, and you watch the recordings over as to fit in with your lifestyle. But during the course of me doing that, we had the live LMA, which unfortunately I missed the first week, but I'd already watched week 1 on the recordings. So the week 1 was the eye-opener, the initial eye-opener, where Tim goes into all how the real us is not who we are. There's a real us that has been shaped or knocked out of shape, if you like, by experiences, childhood experiences, our environment, the things, the events that happen to us, maybe traumas and things like that. And so we're operating out of this paradigm of having been shaped by all these things. And by the time we reach adulthood, the real us has probably been constrained, restricted, maybe even things that we wanted to do, we got laughed at, and it's all been repressed down into the subconscious. And that's an area I'm still working on. I've still got stuff in the subconscious that I haven't managed to reach yet. But in thinking about it, it made such a lot of sense, because I'm thinking, I know I haven't reached my full potential. So what Tim's focusing on is, how do you reach the potential to become the person you were always meant to be? And I like that, because the person that I'm meant to be certainly doesn't self-sabotage. So immediately he gives you practical exercises and things that you can do that immediately help you to start breaking those patterns, but not, I think it's more powerful than that. It's not about breaking those patterns. It's about developing new patterns. And it's really surprising how flexible and elastic our brains are, even as adults, that we can learn new things and we can grow new neural pathways. And I'm seeing the evidence of that. And just before I came on the call, my husband's down in Gateshead and I'm up here. But I gave him a quick call and just said, look, have you noticed any difference in me in the last 6 weeks? And he just said that he thought I was a more positive person. Aww. And that, he's noticed some kind of difference, which is really great.
That's beautiful.
Because that's the proof for the pudding, isn't it? When people around you start noticing there's something different.
Exactly. And you can feel it within yourself. And I can feel it speaking to you energetically right now, this like zest for life and this passion and enthusiasm to know that, we can have and do great things in this world when we revisit the LMA content and see what's on there. It's phenomenal,
Yes.
And is there anything specific that you would say has been the biggest benefit to you since experiencing the LMA program? Like biggest takeaway or biggest highlight or the biggest shift that has happened for you in your personal life?
I think the biggest shift was discovering that I haven't been the authentic me, if you like. I've been operating out of my childhood experiences and patterns of behaviour that have become ingrained to the point you almost don't realise they're there. So the course has helped me, and the exercises as well. I mean, it's just like light bulb moments when you're sitting and Tim's telling stories and giving examples and showing charts and things like that. But then we have to do some work as well. Yes. And we have like exercises to do. And for me, one of the exercises is about stepping into my future self, which is actually the person that's in here, right here and now, not just for the future, but to explore who she is. So when I've faced a situation that would normally send me spiraling into a slump, and I'd really mean a slump, sort of like a hopeless state. And that's been the big hindrance. That's been the self-sabotage, because I've just sort of given up and put the telly on and slumped in front of it instead of tackling life. So instead of doing that, I can ask myself, what would my future self do? And it's immediately empowered me and it's energized me. I was bedridden in 2007 for the best part of a year with Lyme disease. So I've been battling chronic fatigue ever since then. So to discover that actually I don't have to live with chronic fatigue anymore. I mean, it's a process and a pathway, but I believe that I'll be free of it completely. But for the moment, when I ask myself, what would my future self do? I have the answers and I immediately feel energized and I can tackle stuff and I can face situations that the old me, if you like, the conditioned me, would have just gone into a spiral of despair, actually. But the future me empowers me to think, actually, hang on a minute, I can do this, I can do that. You get ideas, you get energy. I mean, it's really, I don't know if I can explain it because it almost seems magical, but it's not magic. It's psychological condition. It's what's happened to us. And I always firmly believed I didn't have to live the life that I was living and I didn't have to continue self-sabotaging. So that for me is the biggest takeaway, and that was a takeaway from week one.
Wow,
And there's so
beautiful.
many other amazing takeaways, but that's the one that's given me the wind beneath my wings,
Oh, well, thank you so
definitely.
much for sharing. Thank you so much for coming on here. And it's so great to hear stories like yours that have come on and have gone through the process and made that commitment to follow through with LMA. And now you're reaping the benefits of everything that you've learned and, let's say, unlearned or remembered about yourself, and like stay true to who you are. Final question
Yes,
here
yeah.
today. What advice would you give to people who are sitting on the fence about joining LMA, who want to join but they haven't quite bit the bullet or stepped forward in faith yet? What advice would you give to those people who haven't gone through this whole process right now?
Okay, so my advice to them would be, you've obviously seen something or watched one of Tim's videos, or something has brought you to this cusp, if you like, the cusp of decision,
Yeah,
shall we call it?
yeah,
I like that, the cusp of decision. And all sorts of objections are going to raise in your mind about why you can't do it or why you shouldn't do it. For me, my desperation, my need to do something was bigger than those objections. And I didn't have the money sitting around. But since doing the course, my goodness me, the creative juices are flowing. And actually, I've got streams of income coming in
wow,
that if I hadn't have done the course, I wouldn't have right now. So, let the finances be sensible, but let the finances take a back seat. Obviously, don't get yourself into debt, but there's ways and means. And your life, how much longer are you going to sit doing nothing and just having the same old, when there's an opportunity to actually do something that is going to change your life for the better? And at the end of the day, money's just money. Honestly, I could say a lot more about that, but I think I'd just embarrass myself. But money is money, and things aren't always important. I'm actually selling stuff on eBay and all sorts of things that I wasn't doing before. Because, yeah, who has the money just sitting there? But it's an investment in you. So, you can't put a price on it, actually. If you really haven't got the money, see if you can borrow it from a friend and pay them back.
yeah,
Because I can't, so I could not carry on the way I was. So for me, Tim's course, the LMA course, was a godsend, a literal answer to prayer. You can't put a price on it. So in a way, it is a leap of faith. And I took the leap of faith that I'll get the funding for it, and I've signed it for it. So yeah, that would be my encouragement. Just take that leap of faith and see where it's going to take you, because as long as you are willing to learn and willing to be open to change and revelation, you won't look back.